Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the final of 2003 with the heavyweight division. Between and introducing in the red corner, well, representing Northwest Counties from Kirby Amateur Boxing Club in Liverpool, Michael Stafford. And in the blue corner, representing the Combined Services and the Navy, Royal Marine Commando, Mick O'Connell. Referee Bob Price, red corner Stafford, blue corner O'Connell.
It's the Northwest against the Army in this 91-kilogram final, the heavyweight final. And the red vest from Kirby is the 21-year-old Michael Stafford. His opponent, now 28 years old, is the Royal Marine Commando, Mick the Irish Hammer O'Connell, he likes to call himself. But, some 7 years between them. Stafford short and chunky. O'Connell. Stafford short and chunky. Mick O'Connell, the Irish Hammer, he calls himself. He's been in the Royal Marines for some 6.5 years, the Combined Services champion and the Navy champion as well. He's with that 4-2 Commando, and he's opened up a 2-point gap against the shorter, chunkier fella, the Northwest champion Michael Stafford. There's a bit of a banger. Stopped one Greg Lee in his semi-final, inflicted 3 standing 8 counts in the first round, but he's finding the Marine Commando a little bit tougher midway through this first round. Both of them looking for the big shot, Stafford in particular. I think we bumped into Stafford's dad in a little cafe just before this contest, and he said that his fellow Michael Stafford could beat Audley Harrison at the moment. I'm not sure about that, Rich. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but yeah, I remember the conversation we had, and he certainly was very confident in his lad's ability. But yeah, I mean, Stafford started quite well here, getting in close and looking for that right hand over the top. But if I was O'Connell, I'd start throwing a few uppercuts, I think, against this guy.
O'Connell taller and greater reach advantage, which he hasn't really utilised so far. Stafford for the first time has gone ahead, and that's a very useful time to do it. Just a few seconds ago to the end of the first round. Good footwork by big Mick O'Connell.
Stop! Stop!
O'Connell had a pretty good semi-final win against Lambton Street's Courtney Clift, who was quite fancy. And this is Michael Stafford, 21 years old, one of 6 Northwest champions to come here to the York Hall in Bethnal Green.
Yeah, me. John.
Bit of action from that opening round. You can see the difference in physiques between the two of them. That was a good shot round the corner by Stafford, because Mick O'Connell's defence was really all over the place.
Yeah, long left hook, that's not a punch you see very often, but I think it was debatable whether it was the open part of the glove there, but nevertheless, it was around the guard, long left hook. You don't see many of them.
Well, Mick O'Connell, good win in the semi-final, 18-13 against Courtney Clift. This fellow stopped Greg Lee in his semi-final, and before that had a good win over the Irishman who boxes for the Trojan Club, Coleman Barrett.
Second down. Second down.
Not much between these two heavyweights, the 91-kilogram division, after the opening 2 minutes. Man in red, Michael Stafford from Kirby, just a single point ahead of the Royal Marine. Combined Services champion, representing the Navy, Mick O'Connell, now 28 years old. Both of them quite happy to stand toe-to-toe and slug the whole thing out. Stafford the short of the two, and Red the southpaw. Conceded a point. O'Connell has pulled it back to 3 apiece. O'Connell the more upright of the two, the more classic sort of amateur pose, Richie.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting tied up on the inside, but O'Connell is not throwing the uppercuts, and that's the punch that he should start throwing. And Stafford there is going back to the orthodox style. That's how he started the contest in the opening round. Now he's switching to southpaw again, so he's obviously a switch hitter. But O'Connell, he must start throwing more uppercuts, Jim, against a shorter opponent. That's the punch to be throwing.
Stafford had gone from southpaw back to orthodox and back to southpaw, and now he's back to orthodox again. O'Connell not too far away with the right hand, but he's picked up another point. Good left hand to the head by Stafford. O'Connell is caught and no one comes forward, but that punch counted. O'Connell slipping. Wild right hand by the Royal Marine in blue. Stafford now looking a little bit more comfortable, but he's no reason to be, because there's only a point between them.
There's actually great movement there from Stafford on the ropes, the way he just got out of that situation. But what he didn't do, he didn't then follow it up with the counter. He certainly got out of the way of his opponent's attack, but he never came back with anything himself.
Well, I think Big Mick O'Connell must have been listening to you, Richie, because he did just about 15 seconds ago deliver a very good right uppercut, and there was a left one in there, and I'm not sure whether that scored or not. We'll need to see at the start of the next round. But Mick O'Connell finished very strongly. The Irish Hammer, he calls himself.
Spray, mate. Stand by the spit, spit this one out. Here we go. Here we go. Pull it out, mate. Stand by the spit, spit this one out. Here we go. Here we go. Pull it out, mate, spit it out. Good boy. Okay, deep, yeah? Deep breaths in. Right, listen. 7-4.
Well, Mick O'Connell still has this title within his grasp if he boxes the correct contest for the last 2 rounds. The Fighting Irish. Well, you can't keep them down. Didn't do too well at Lansdowne Road on Sunday, I have to say, but never mind. Midway point in this heavyweight final, the 91-kilogram division. Michael Stafford from Kirby, just 21 years old. On level terms with the big fella from the Navy in blue, Mick O'Connell. Combined Services champion, who's gone a point up. Good body shot, and once again O'Connell is using the uppercut to pretty good effect. And he's opened up now a 3-point gap. And that's exactly the tactics in amateur boxing these days, Richie. Come out, get it started early, and then defend if you have to. But the early start in every round is hugely important.
Yeah, it is, and we've seen that from a few boxers here tonight. But they've started very, very quickly, and it's almost surprising the opponent, if you like. And certainly, if your opponent isn't switched on, then you can grab a couple of points right at the start of the round that could be crucial towards the end of the contest.
Well, O'Connell now 2 points up, midway point in this, the penultimate round, the third. Good little right by O'Connell. Stafford turned him nicely. He's got good footwork, the shorter, chunkier fella. Great finals this for the Northwest division. A view of the 6 boxers and 12 finals. Just a point between them, opened up now to 2 once again by O'Connell. He's using his greater reach a little bit better. Stafford will have to step in now in this last round, and he's closed it to a single point, and this is liable to go either way. Good right from O'Connell. There's the attempted uppercut again, but he's leaving himself open.
Yeah, there's some good work from Stafford just early on in the round there. He switched from the orthodox to the southpaw again, and that totally surprised O'Connell just for a split second, and Stafford got home with a couple of shots.
Stafford being cautioned by the referee for using the head but he's pulled it back to 11 apiece, so it's all to box for in the final 2 minutes in this 91 kilogram division. Now who's going to turn round in the lead? Can O'Connell find an uppercut the way he did at the end of the last round, or is it going to be the chunky Stafford? Good left from Stafford. And they may well start the last round on 11 points apiece. That was a very good round, and I think both of them really got over the anxiety, Richie, and settled down now to picking their shots better than they did in the previous 2 rounds. O'Connell in particular was doing some good work close in for the taller man.
Yeah, some good work there to the body, and then he's using that uppercut as well, and that's the punch that he's got to start throwing more and more. But nevertheless, it was a better round for O'Connell. He was much more positive, working from body to head, and he was just on top there.
But despite that little flurry by his opponent, Michael Stafford from Kirby came through well and has levelled this match.
Second down. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Last down.
Final 2 minutes to decide who is going to be the 91 kilogram English ABA champion for 2003. Good little exchange there. Stafford, Michael Stafford, the 21-year-old in the red, against the 28-year-old Royal Marine, Navy and Combined Services champion. Mick calls himself the Irish Hammer O'Connell. A name like Mick O'Connell, well, he couldn't be anything else but Irish. Stafford has pulled it back. Not the most elegant of finals we've seen here tonight in the York Hall and Bethnal Green, but certainly one of the hardest and one of the most closely contested. 13 apiece, and if it goes to, if it stays even at the end of the 4th round, then it'll go to count back.
Well, O'Connell just getting the better of the exchanges here, but Stafford's got the right tactic. He's got to stay in there close and sustain the pressure. That's what he's got to do, and try and push the man back onto the ropes and work away. When it's in the middle of the ring, it's O'Connell's fight.
Well, O'Connell is tying Stafford up a little bit. Referees, I'm sure, will maybe just give him a little caution for that. Clever stuff on the blind side by the Marine. 1 point between them. Less than 3/4 of a minute remaining. Stafford has to find something special. He's tiring a little bit. And he's holding as well. Good little left by O'Connell. 1 point either way is going to make a huge difference. O'Connell trying that uppercut. And a good right hand from O'Connell. And that may well make all the difference. He's caught Stafford and he's holding him with his left, but he's landing with the right, more importantly. 15 seconds to go. 2 between them. O'Connell very close to conceding a couple of points, which would have levelled this. But Stafford may think he's done enough. And I have news for him, he hasn't done enough. 5 seconds remaining. And the Irish Hammer has done it. Mick O'Connell, the Royal Marine, has done it, and I'm sure everybody in 4-2 Commando will be delighted, because he's a lot of friends occupied elsewhere, and I think this will certainly bring great cheer to them. It was a hard, tough contest, and in the last round, Mick O'Connell, I think, deservedly took it, Richie.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought contest, very scrappy at times, but nevertheless, when some great punches there went in from Stafford, to a right hand and then a straight left. But overall, O'Connell, I think it was just a case of who wanted it the most, and in that last round, O'Connell, he forced the pace and he wanted it more.
Well, the big fella's not altogether sure that he's got this. He just gave an indication there to some friends here in the York Hall that it could have gone either way. But the good news from his point of view and the bad news from Michael Stafford's point of view is that O'Connell has just
nicked it. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and 2003 ABA champion at heavyweight on points 17 to 15, O'Connell in the blue corner.
O'Connell's won it. A victory for the Navy and the Combined Services, and on balance, just about deserved. Terrific boost for 4-2 Commando, courtesy of Mick O'Connell.
Mick, that was a hard night's work, but you looked as if you were prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, I've been training very hard. I haven't been abusing myself like I usually do. So I've screwed the nut and been training very hard. Yeah, so I was ready for anything he had to throw, really.
And he was beaten in the final last year, so you knew all about him. What was the plan?
Well, we'd sparred together actually up in Manchester, and we got split up because we were knocking bails out of each other. So it was a sort of a return spar, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it was good, but I knew what to expect. So I just tried to get on the back foot and box, but he draws you in to a fight, and I was prepared to fight as well. So.
And a win's a win now for you. What's the situation regarding Iraq from here on?
Well, actually, there's a helicopter just hovering outside with a rope, but now it's got to fly away because I've won and I'm through to the next round. So hopefully Four Nations next in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully, and then we'll take.
So you've got dispensation to box in the Four Nations.
Yeah. Basically, as long as I keep winning, then I'm out of the war zone, if you know what I mean. But I'm not bothered. 50-50. You know, I was meant to go, and all my mates are out there, so there'll be a warm welcome out there for me anyway when I get out there. Well, as warm as can be.
Stay safe. Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.